Welcome back to an SF Live Deutsche Goldmesse Special. I'm here joined by Tim Coughlin, President and CEO of Royal Road Minerals. And Tim, it's great to have you here in Germany. Thanks for coming out.
Great to be here, Kai, and a great show again, once again.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you. Tell your friends. No, I appreciate you coming out. It's the second time now. You were here in November as well. We didn't get a chance to catch up properly, do a quick video in November. So I'm grabbing the bull by the horns now. Just tell us a bit about Royal Road. Give you Cliff Notes, 30, 60 seconds. Like, what are you guys up to?
Okay, so we're up to the discovery game. So we have a large portfolio of projects. It's the only way to do the discovery game. Some make it, some don't. Most of them don't. Some of them do. We're in Nicaragua and Colombia, which both countries we think host potential for very large-scale, world-class ore deposits of copper and gold. They're the sort of environments you need to be in to build that sort of a portfolio. We, at the same time as looking for those world-class systems, we have a business model which hopefully will mean we don't have to go back to market, and that means that we need to also develop and sell on smaller assets that we can transact on and make raise some money.
I remember a slide in your presentation a while ago where you had and it might be wrong on the number, obviously, 120 projects, and you had a pyramid in there that we were developing through that. So run us a bit through that model and how that works.
Yeah, so there's a well-known project generator model. I'm not sure we fit that because we go beyond what we call the resistance boundary, which is drill permitting and drilling. We go well beyond that. We do work with joint ventures, but essentially in joint ventures. But the idea really is to move as many projects up through that pyramid to a decision point. Once it gets where that decision point is, doesn't always depend on us. It depends on other parties, JV partners, or people who want to buy a project. There's in a way, there's three outcomes. One might be, and there's three outcomes that in fact, the real outcomes, the things that we're working on. One might be for a very small project, something that's just not going to make it. It was already existing perhaps within our title, like we're doing in Southern Colombia, is formalizing local miners in exchange for a royalty and the ability to claw back. So that's kind of one very simple kind of outcome. The other one on the other extreme is where we start to develop something that looks world class. And that would be a spin out, and under the terms of some of our JVs that we've got signed, that would look like some sort of 50-50 spin out, so our shareholders will have the opportunity to then participate in what would be a world-class mining project, one share for two. Or on the other hand, we'll have smaller projects such as the Luna Roja project that we just sold last year for $22.5 million. Smaller thing that perhaps is not very good for us, but we can get some cash and earn a royalty of it. So sort of those three outcomes as we get to the top of that pyramid.
Okay, I was just going to ask for a bit of track record. You said you hope you don't have to come back to market, so it means you must have sold something already.
Yeah.
So just tell us a bit more about that transaction, and have you had any other successes in that as part of that strategy?
Yeah, so that was a project that we were drilling with our partners, Hemco Mineros in Nicaragua. It's a beautiful little skarn, probably about 500,000 ounces at good high grades, too small for us and for our shareholders. So our largest shareholder, as you know, is Agnico Eagle. So that was a pretty straightforward deal in which our partner offered to buy our 50%. We sold it to them for $22.5 million and a 1.25% royalty. That's what happened there. Are there others? Yes, there are projects like that in Colombia, particularly in the south, that we're speaking to a major about, that perhaps we might move on. And there are others in Nicaragua. We sort of call them our buffaloes. We've got elephants and buffaloes. It's not a very kosher term nowadays, but elephants and buffaloes, the ones that don't quite make it, get sold off, and we focus on finding the bigger ones.
Interesting. So Tim, on the exploration side, like you say, you go way beyond. Like, what's your budget this year? Like, where are you focusing most of your attention right now?
So cash position probably to start with, so we can put the budget in perspective, is about 26 million Canadian. This year we're spending 8 million, and that will be focused mostly on obviously the drilling at Guinta in Colombia, which is this porphyry copper gold target, at Caribe, and then we're drilling another 4 projects, another one in Colombia and another 3 in Nicaragua. So most of it's focused on drilling. We're still conducting sort of regional work, but more with a view to rationalise, because we got such a large sort of property package, we'd much rather reduce that to something more manageable.
How many meters does that translate into?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know, to be honest. I know we're drilling, and it's staged because we move to a point and they get further approval from our joint ventures. We're drilling 10,000 at Guinta minimum, and another 5,000 at Caribe minimum. So depending on.
Let me be a bit cheeky. You said you have 26 million in the bank. Why are you only spending 8?
Because
it's like the full Monty is like I'm going all in and drilling your brains out pretty much.
It sort of comes down to capacity. And to be brutally honest, I don't think we're the only ones that are troubled by this. It's trying to get technical capacity when it comes to geologists and exploration. So that there is a real dearth of experienced geologists out there, and I think we all know why. There's been that long period where the industry suffered from. Basically a bear market since 2013, in my view, and that's affected throughput of young geologists. It's affected the ability of companies to train. It's affected the historic sort of close relationship between universities and industry. So in a practical sense, that's really the reason, actually. Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, I was wanting to hear methodologies, like how you're approaching the projects as well. Like some projects don't warrant 10 drill rigs.
No, exactly. Right. So there's in both cases, I think probably the best way to summarize when I say both cases, the two projects that are most advanced, Guinta and Caribe. Actually, there are subtle differences here, but in both instances, we're looking for the deep porphyry center. And so until we get that deep porphyry center, and we're probably closer to finding that at Guinta than we are at Caribe. Caribe, we're drilling out a gold zone, which we think is peripheral, whereas at Guinta, we are hitting through fingers of what we're trying to get. Once we hit that, then the budget changes, the amount of drill rigs changes, and then off we go.
Fantastic. Yeah. What are some of the next catalysts that we can look forward to?
Well, I think we've got constant news flow from Caribe and Guinta. I think it's a drill hole in Guinta that could sort of change everything for us, the right drill hole, which hits the porphyry at depth. Also, we're pretty excited about a project we haven't drilled yet called Nueva America, which is in Nicaragua. We put a press release out on that recently. It's part of a district we call Los Milagros. I'm pretty excited about that, about the drilling results coming for that one. Drilling results.
Drill results. It's good. Like news flow is usually the most important factor. Like
even
us
in this
investors,
market?
we're all greedy. Like you put out a dress release tomorrow, and I want one the next day again. Right?
That's right.
So,
two
fantastic. No, great. Thanks so much for the update, Tim.
Thanks,
It's great
Kai,
chatting with you every time. Like we had you on SF Live a couple times in the past as well. It's been always super informational and exciting.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Good luck drilling.
pleasure.
And to everybody else, thanks so much for tuning in. This was an SF Live Deutsche Goldmesse Special. I was joined by Tim Coughlin, and it was great chatting. Talking Royal Road. Make sure to hit the like and subscribe button, of course, as well. And we'll have more content for you soon. Thank you.